Hello, my friends. My name is Vasily, I'm a US engineer, and here we're doing what we're doing actually here. We're typing text, right? So writing some code, and I think it's more than 1 week already passed, right? After previous episode, right? So, and today I think it would be like episode number 4, right? Where we continue writing like a homework, right? So some context, right? Like from time to time, after interviews, we can receive some homework, right? Or before interviews, before technical interview, we may receive some homework to complete it. Homework to complete it. Wonderful. Yeah. My English is perfect. So, and we're doing the same, right? We're trying to type some code to write application. This series about Swift and UIKit. Maybe we will write something about Swift UI and about the format before you continue watching that. So regularly I am not preparing, so everything what you can see here I just take from my head. I want you to see like a live process, right? What I'm doing. I am not typing code like perfect code from scratch. Yeah, I'm thinking right now like will I ever write a perfect code? I'm not sure. So here you can see the process. I am trying to be loud, to speak aloud, right? And to share my thoughts, what's happened in my head right now while I'm typing code. Yeah, enough words. Let's jump to our project. Of course, let me share my screen, right? Our favorite sentence, right? Okay. And first of all, let's refresh our memory, right? So what do we have here? We have core, we have assembly, we have router, right? Assembly is a place where we create objects like services, view controllers, views, and so on, right? Router is a place that help us to navigate between views, right? Maybe show alert and so on. Everything like every navigation that happen in application, for example, open alert, push to the next view controller, right? Pop and so on, we should do through the router, right? And we also created a core, right? So let me show you. This is router, this is assembly, and this is core. Of course, we have interfaces here. That is good. Also, do you remember why we need interfaces? Of course you remember, right? We need interfaces. We need interfaces for reducing to reduce dependency. This is one of the goals of the interfaces, right? And also interfaces help us with testing. And also when we're talking about reducing dependency, if we look at Corable, right? Corable is a protocol for interface for the core. That means if I want to replace this core, at least I will have to implement this, right? Well, the same for the router, right? At least we have this router able, and we just need to implement this. Also, using interfaces, you can hide some functionality, right? Why we need to hide some functionality? When you're writing a class or some code, right? And inside class, you may have some specific functions and so on. And using protocols, this is one of the way that you can hide internal functions from incorrect usage, right? So yeah, this is just refreshing, right? Like fast refreshing. Also, like if you see other benefits of the interfaces or protocols, write in the comments. Okay, so we had router, we have router, we have assembly, we have core. Let me actually check if, yeah, recording is going, right? I just double check. I mean, it would be not very comfortable, right? If like the whole hour I'm doing this blah blah, and after it I can figure out that my camera is not working or is not recording. Okay, so actually let me check. I think, yeah, I'm checking like is my face is not so big. Of course it is big, but like you got it, right? I'm checking that you can see like a normal amount of code and so on. Okay, so what do we plan to do today? Let's talk about root controller. I think this is time for right now to fill our table view with data. Oh, it would be nice because I do not remember when last time I worked with table view data source with UIKit. I mean, like from scratch, right? So if I forget something and I Google it, so okay, keep calm, right? Like we're good people. We're not going to write not very comfortable words for me, right, in the comments, right? Yeah. Okay. So first of all, let's run and see like is it kind of okay. What is this? Oh, yeah. I need to authorize. I will do it later. Let me check how it is working. iOS 16.2. Okay. It's okay, right? So it's not so fast. Sorry. Okay. So what do we have here? Is it working, right? Right? I can, or it is still launching. Huh. Let me check. No, I think it's still... Oh, okay. Yep. Okay. So, what we are planning to do? Where is that yellow? Let's first of all remove this yellow background. So, okay, and right now let's start adding cells. I'm trying to think about how we can make it more interesting, right? Maybe we can try to do some APIs. Can we do some APIs? I remember one of my previous tasks that I completed billion years ago. Let me open another browser, right? Okay, my channel, yay! So was about iTunes iTunes API. Yeah, I think it is public, right? Like, let me make everything bigger. Search. And we may have this. Okay. Search and value. Right? Like, if we do this, what? Let me check. Is it txt? Results. Search. Maybe, I think, Q and metrics. Let me check how will it... No. I just try to remember. I mean, let's try to do something more interesting, right? Rather than like having data, prepare data. So parameter. Oh, we can use. I think we can use term, right? URL that you want. Oh, okay. Yeah, instead of Q, we can do this. Yep. Oh, yeah, wonderful. Okay, so let's do that. We're going to create service that will return us some iTunes data, right? And we will create like collect table view, or right, like a wall that we can scroll, and we also will show some images and so on. Okay, for this, what do we need? We need services, right? So new group, services, services, right? And right now we need one more group. It would be let's do iTunes service, right? And of course we are going to do two more folders. You see, I think you know that I extremely like folders. So one of the first group, it would be service. Second group, it would be repository. Why first letter is always missing? So let's think about, like, we have a service, and inside service we have service and repository. So why I split like this? Basically, what is repository? A repository is like a place where I can get the data. It could be like a cache data, it could be remote, HTTPS data, it could be like data located in remote server and so on, right? Local data and so on. And or also core data, right? Service is a place where we are planning to prepare data, right? So you like here, repository will return us the clean data. I mean, not clean, dirty data. Yes. So dirty data means that you have extra values. For example, you receive JSON or dictionary, right? And you have lots of things that you are not going to use, right? Service will prepare specific data for you. Like service should return you only that data that you're going to render. No less, no more. Specifically what you need, right? Okay, so let's do that. So create new file, and of course we are going to use the same name, iTunes service, right? And here we are going to create interface. Maybe we can, yeah, I will create just files, and then interface, right? So unto iTunes service. So how we are planning to name the protocol, you know it, right? For iTunes service, based on the previous logic. Maybe this is logic not correct, but in our code, in this application, I should be consistent. And if I use incorrect, like maybe if I use not correct English, I should use not correct English in each part of the application, right? That other developer can detect the same patterns everywhere. The same patterns in naming, the same pattern in comments and so on. So it would be iTunes service able. Yay! I know that is good that you remember that. So protocol iTunes serviceable. It should be any class. Wait, it's not. I always forgot. It should be any object, right? Right, any object. Okay. any object. Okay. And right now, what do we plan? We also plan to create a repository. So new file, iTunes repository, iTunes repository, right? iTunes repository, it would be here, right? And the new file, protocol, of course, iTunes repository able. I hope you're okay with this naming and you're not angry. I mean, because I will always use this able thing in all of this series. I mean, at least at interview homework 1, right? Until we complete this project. So let's create a class, right? It would be class, iTunes repository, and no, it's already class, right? And then we also can do the same for here. It would be class, iTunes repository able, and it would be protocol, not class, protocol, and of course any object. Why do you remember why we use any object here in our protocols? We use it because we want that these services should be a classes. Why? We don't want to create, many instances, right? We don't want to make copies, right? We want to create a one service. If we use it in several views, it could be used in several views, right? In several screens. And for this purpose, we want to avoid copying, right? To save some CPU work, right? So always try to think in this way, right? When you start writing application, yeah, it's just demo, right? Just small application and pet project. And why do you need to think about memory? Why do you need to think about CPU, even if it's just client side, right? But your application can become bigger and bigger. And for you, right, like when you just start building, it's cost near nothing. Just like, okay, I will create interface, I will create classes and so on. If I will spend some seconds to make a right decision about that thing, that repository, that service, how I'm going to use it, and so on. It would be better, like in general, right? In the beginning, maybe you will spend more time, like planning. Maybe you can create diagram and so on. But in future, when you did this several times, you will do it automatically, right? And when you type code, you already will think about how your processor, how memory will work, in terms of your application. Okay. Okay, what we're doing next? As I said, we need to implement one interesting thing, right? We also need to have network layer, right? Okay, since I just created iTunes service, let's make a commit, right? So this is source 3, I'm still using it, and probably, yeah, it still could be in the core feature. Maybe I need to merge it and start another feature. I think let's do that, right? So what I am going to do right now, Can I switch to main? Okay, no, I cannot switch to main. But I can create another commit here, right? So create new branch. Let's also here I want to touch how I regularly work with Git, right? I will try to talk a little about that. So right now, previously we finished on the feature core, right? And today we're going to work with feature network, right? So I want to use it in I want to have another branch here, right? For this case, I need to merge, for example, this core, right? And then I can do, I can create another branch. So for right now, I need to save my changes. Let's do it very simple. I will just create new branch. It will be feature, right? And it would be like a network, like network service. All right, network service. Create a branch, right? And I can make a commit. Initted iTunes service. Yeah, I know it's not like a network, but on this branch we already created files, right? Why we need to remove it? iTunes. You can see this wonderful cat, Forni. I think, yeah, like you cannot miss the possibility to demonstrate your tail, right? Wonderful. So you will be very famous, my friend, one day. Okay. Do you want to sleep? Just sit somewhere and sleep, right? Can you do that? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This wonderful guy. So, how is your day going? I mean, week going, right? I hope I will release this video like in the work day. Look at this cat. Can you see him? Yeah. He is so wonderful. Social cat. Okay, so I need to work. Please give me some time. Okay, so I needed iTunes service, right? Okay, commit. Then what do I need? Wait. No. Why? Hey, Forni. Right now I need more space. Sorry, my friend. Let's merge this feature core, right? So we're going to core, we're going to main, we are going to merge that. So let's merge it. Right now, no, we're in a main. We need to jump to the core and merge that. So okay, let's do that. Okay, wonderful. I will push everything later, right? And right now let's go to the network service and pull everything from a main, right? Right now we're here and we have the latest changes. Everything would be pushed when I complete this video. When I finish recording for me, I cannot see. I can see extremely non-professional videos, right? This is not so good. So we have service, and of course network layer would be part of the core. No, not please, no, not keyboard, please, just here. Please, 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 please. Oh my wonderful cat. I need to work. I need to work, please. My friends are looking at me. So, components, right? And let's create new service. Oh, why it is core? Because it should be like... From time to time you can think that you can put a network somewhere here, right? Or you can put it inside core. This depends on you. Regularly I try to keep it in the core because even when I start application I need to do some validation, like a token checking and so on. Right, like I mean token authorization token, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about talking. Okay. So let's create the group. Okay, network manager, right? Since it is not in services, I will name it as a network manager. So new file, and then create network manager and manager able, of course, and new file, next, network manager. Sorry, I'm looking at my watches because I'm waiting one parcel. Okay, network manager. So it would be interface, protocol. Yeah, it's not like it's not very wonderful when you see my mistakes, any object, but I think that's what you like, right? To see something real, not completely prepared, but I'm okay with that. If you prefer like more compressed material without cats in the videos, right? And water words and so on. Okay. And it would be class, it would be network manager, manager, and yeah. So, and probably here we will have mark and network manager able. So it would be extension network manager able, right? And let's for right now just make a basic HTTP call. So I have no idea, I do not remember how to make it, and let's do it right now from scratch together, right? So like, what do I need to do? I need to make so Swift HTTP request. Yep. Okay, Stack Overflow. Yeah, of course we can find this on Stack Overflow. We are just scrolling. Okay. Do I have my answer here? No. Oh, what? This big surprise. I wrote this answer at 2017, right? So like 5 years ago, or more, right? Okay, so let me check something. Alama Fire. Like, do I have? Oh, URL session. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do URL session. right? And let's just copy that. Oh, I also used, good, I also used that. That example with iTunes. Oh, I didn't remember that. So, Network Manager. Let's try to see, will it compile? Or probably no. Whoa, that is good. So, we will read this code, but first of all, what I think, let's just try to run it. And you direct checking, right? Router, and we will do something like here, private var network manager. Network manager, it would be network manager, right? Network manager queue. Dispatch queue. Do I want to use dispatch queues? I didn't make a decision about that, like queues or more than Swift concurrency. Okay, so let's start with queues. Let's private let queue. Okay, you. Actually, let's do different things. Let's just put it directly in the repository and here. Init, right? And here we also may have in repository this network, right? We will make it better later, right? So because network manager should be created and placed here using assembly, right? So queue. Okay. Queue, it would be dispatch queue. I need to understand what is this, why I use it, but for right now it's kind of okay. All right, it would be repository. Okay, and we can do this, right? Can we do this? Okay, network manager. Let's make it later, or we can do it like a lazy property, right? Lazy should work. Lazy. Okay. Wonderful. So right now I want to create this iTunes repository in a router view controller and just try to make this call. Repo, right? I just want to create this. And we can call it directly here, right? So network manager, set request, term, so metrics, and we can print this data, right? Print JSON. Okay, yeah, you can see that we'll receive some data. Yay, that is good. Okay, right now let's try to understand what do we have here. We have some kind of queue, right? But why do we have it here? Maybe we can keep it on a layer above, but okay. So let's try to create error. Where do we have this error? Okay. Yeah, I'm not writing code right now like this. So probably we need to, first of all, to have this function public, right? So this set request, because it's specifically to make a request, right? Let's put it here, right? And we can write something like this. Search request, right? And in we will call make request. Okay, make request. And of course it should be public, I mean internal, right? What else? Let's try to see, will it compile? So right now I'm not sure I like this code. Yes, this is my code. I created it 5 years ago. It would be weird if I decide like, hey, I do not like it. I mean, or I like it. Like 5 years already passed. Of course, it's not perfect. Oh, this is actually a good idea. Probably after this video, I will record another video, and we can take this code and make it better. I mean, we can update this answer on a Stack Overflow, right? And make using my fresh inspiration, fresh understanding of the code base, right? Of the modern code base and so on. It could be like loud words, but maybe it wouldn't be so wonderful. So, okay, let's continue. First of all, we have a session, like, let's remove it. Let's keep this session here. So, private var lazy var session. It would be your URL session, right? So that means that we do not need this for right. Yeah, for right now we do not need it. I think we can use one session, right? Then what about queue? I think I used this queue. What were the tabs here, right? I used that queue to make request one by one, right? Let's first of all check, like, I need everything to check, right? I mean, is it like a serial, right? Like by default it should be serial, right? Okay, so dispatch queue, if we try to create it, init, dispatch queue, init, and attributes, and what could be here? Concurrent. So this is already serial. Okay. We can keep it for right now, correct? So, yeah, I also need to refresh my memories. And again, if you're not sure, you can make experiments. Always do this, right? Let's keep this queue. And actually, I think queue should be already embedded here. We do not need special queues for the network requests. So we should create this queue directly here, right? That we can stack all of the requests. So let's create it label, and it would be network manager queue, right? And of course we can make it lazy and variable lazy. No, let's keep it as let, and this is also private, right? So session is private, queue is private. Okay, and actually, since this, we can have less lines of code, right? Okay. Right now we will have just empty constructor. Okay, what do we need next? So I do not like this. This should be different. So let's use result and return result or error. So how we can do this? We can do this result, right? You are so cute. You too. So string any, right? And we may have here error. And probably a specific error. So let's do not have like any error. Let's deliver specific data, right? So errors, right? Errors. Come on. Error, right? And we will do this, or network error, right? Network error, and we will return this error. Okay, let's check any results. It should be like this and should be like this, right? Okay, we may use closures, right? Yeah. Okay, and what we're planning to return if dispatch. Okay, how can I format this? Oh, okay. So, and what closure is that? So what is returning value? So, okay, if let task, right, we made a request, right? We receive data, response, error. Actually, let's check. Do we have something modern? I mean, yeah, we have something modern like async await, but let's start with that. And async await we will try in another project. All right, and you of course will ask it in the comments. So a session data task. Okay, publisher, yeah, we may have this, like we can make it reactive, but no, not for these videos. So okay, so let's do that. So let task, we created task, then of course it would be weak self, queue, and we need to return value. Look, so this is let complete. This code is not super perfect, right? So, and what else? Why it's like that? Because I want to wrap it into main. Oh, yeah. Probably we may have we may define a returning queue, like let's do that. So no, we will return in the same queue, right? So yeah, so we want to return in the same queue, right? So let complete, and we are going to define this, and probably it would be here void, right? So guard self, let's self else, let's do that. Yeah, this code is not so perfect. Yep. So complete, and and here we want to return value, right? So where do we use this complete? we use this complete here, right? I'm not sure I understand. I'm not sure I remember. So if we just launch, oh, because it's in the queue. But why we have this? Why we have this as a separate function that right? So what would be if I just remove it? Because we already have a data here, right? So we do not need that, right? And what we are going to do, we are going to closure completion, right? Completion, and here we are going to return error. So first of all, if let error, if we receive any error, if let error, right, we are going to return it, right? So it would be completion, and we are going to have this failure, right, and error, and let's define first error like a case nested error, okay, and we will send this error, nested error, or I think we can do even like this, data task error, right? To be more specific, because this error is going to be returned as a part, like this closure will run inside data task, right? So probably these errors will come from data task, right? So that is the reason why I name it as a data task, right? And we're going to return error and then just return, right? We don't want to go here. If we do not have any error, so what is our plan? So okay, first of all, yeah, if self is not exist, right? So we have weak self. If self is not exist, probably we don't want to go to the next lines of the code, right? So if this network manager already disappear, why we need to continue execute and prepare data and then send somewhere, right? We will stop here. Okay, actually it could be even, we can do that even here, right? Then we have data, right? If data, what is data? Let's check what is data. It's I cannot see what is that. Okay, if I do this, will that work? I think I need one more racket. Okay, so no. Wait a moment. Oh, no, I do not need that. Oh my god, I always forget about that. How... Okay. So, data should be... Yeah, optional. Okay. If we receive... If data is not exist, right? So, and this is an interesting question. What do we need to do? Do we need to send to return empty array, right? Let's do that. If data is nil, probably we will. No, I think it could be an error for right now. Case empty data. So one more error, empty data. Okay. And we will do that thing. Complete empty data. Success, of course. Complete. Can you see it, right? Like, what is this? Is it a sabotage? He also has Instagram. Of course, you can find it somewhere. I think if you are trying to learn programming, it's nothing complex for you to find this wonderful cat Instagram. Completion. Okay, and what is our plan? Return failure. So this is my decision to return empty data. You may think about, like, if it's empty, probably if you do not have error, probably a response could be like 200, right? Actually, we can check it later, right? Okay. Then. So let's do next step. We are planning to what? We have a JSON serialization. So here we will take a data, and return it. So completion, and it would be success, right? And it's going to be JSON. So okay, guard led JSON, and we will have these options, right? Let me remove that as string. Mutable containers. Okay. Else. Else return. So Forni. Give us like a 10 more minutes, right? Regularly I am recording like 1 hour. Tell me if it's like not a lot. Maybe I will try to do something else. I don't know. Can I write like 2 or 3 hours? I'm not sure. So, right now we want to return JSON, right? If we have an error, you see, like every time I return error, right? So, case what do we want? Oh, JSON serialization error. JSON serialization error. Okay, so always you need to return all errors. That will help you to debug. Completion, failure, JSON serialization error, right? Oh, that error would be here, sorry. Yeah, because we have do catch. So yep. So here, if so what does it mean? We have guard, right? Here we will receive something if it cannot get it, right? And here, for example, if no errors, right, but JSON is empty, maybe we can also use empty data, right? Could it be? So again, we have a try, right? And this error JSON Forni is here, and I cannot see everything. So look at JSON serialization, right? So this error will cover just this try, right? But if something fails here, what could fail? Probably this data cannot be. Oh, yeah. Incorrect. Incorrect dictionary. Incorrect type. So that means that if we cannot do this, right, cast to string any, we need to send this error. Again, always return error as much as possible. Add lots of errors. So incorrect dictionary type. Incorrect dictionary type. Wonderful. And if everything is success, we can do this. So let's try to run it and see what's gonna happen. So why it's like that? Sorry, I need to understand why it's like. So we have this. Oh, of course. And right now we have errors. Okay, what kind of errors do we have? Task. Oh, that thing. How? What about right now? So, yep, and this is a task.resume. Right. Here we have async. Here we have closure. Okay. Weak self. Okay, since we are not using that, we can keep it, right? Why not? Escaping parameters. Oh, okay. Let's do this. Escaping, right? Are you happy right now? Okay. And probably we need to return, right? And let's try to make it even more simpler, right? Let's have a separate function. Private func. We will name it later, and let's put all of this code inside, right? So idea of that, let's try to make our code as simple as possible, right? Everyone can write code that could be simply recognized by machine, right? But what about people? Your main idea to write text, write code for another developer, right? Since like you want to write the code that other developer can recognize and can understand, and this is your main task, right? You are not writing code for the machine, you're writing to another person. And I want to make it easy. I want to make it much more easy to read, right? So data response URL and it could be also error, right? And what would be next? We are going to return this thing, right? Wonderful. And instead of completion, we may just have this, right? And completion would be return empty data, right? And here also would be return, here would be return. Let me make it much better, right? And we can see code become more, I mean, visually simpler. That's what we want, right? We want it to be simpler. Simpler is not like a stupid, right? Simpler is a compliment for your code. Like, hey, your code looks simple. This is a compliment. Okay, so let me try to understand it and how it's going to work, right? So we need the name of this function. So process, right? Data response error. Let's do that. So, and here we will do next thing. So it would be process, of course, self. Right now we can do this. Self process, and we can do, yeah, data, of course. Data response error. Why I use here optional, not a if let self, right? Not this thing, like guard let self equal self, because it's just one function, right? If I had several functions, I would like to make it not optional. So yeah, and for one function I prefer to use optional. Okay, let's check how it is going. Can we run it? Of course, no. Okay, we do not need arguments here. Hey, Forni! Hey, stop that, please. I'm recording video. Do not play with that. He's playing with a bag or something. Okay. Hey. No. I will put it here. Okay. Sorry, guys. So let's print our result here. So it would be make. So make request, and here we're going to have our request. We will optimize that also. I can see how we can make it better. And here we have result, right? And right now we can print something. We can print that result. Let's see. Something is not working. Interesting. Let's try again. Let's go here, intermake, and see. Oh, of course. Of course, completion. Right? Yeah. we looks like we need this guard self, guard self, guard let self equals self return nil. So and then we are going to do this self and see what's gonna happen. But also I'm worried about this return, right? So when we make a request, specifically with completion, we always want to return something. Let's try to think what can we do here. Just return, right? Okay, you can see that we have this data and it is success. Okay, right now I want to return error. Let's just use incorrect term, right? So I'm going to run this and see what's gonna happen. Empty array, results no, 0. Okay, what would be if I use incorrect website? Will I receive any error? Yes, failure, I receive an error, right? That's what's expected. But before this, let's go to their our manager, right? And what we're going to do with that. So case cannot be completed. I mean, why is like that? So think about, like, if you start your application and your user was already authorized, right? You start application and you are on start, you make a request to check token, like access for the data, right? Or refresh token or something like that. So you always want to return a value because, for example, if this class would be recreated or something like this, right? You will not notify your view. Your view will make a request and you will see spinner like, hey, we're waiting for data, right? Make this request and something went wrong. We want to reduce side effects, right? That means that we need to return value. We do not need to return nothing. We do not need to break our execution. We want to return back to our view and say, hey, something not work. Cannot be completed. Let's use this weird error for right now. Completion failure cannot be completed and right now return. Okay, so I think that's it for right now. Yeah, let me check timing. 1 hour, more than 1 hour. That's good, right? Oh, I miss you guys. Like, when I start my video, I always think, I don't remember this, I don't remember that, and then I push this engine, and it's become more aggressive, and want to write more code. Not perfect code, but I am just sharing what I know. So, let me just double check. We have an error. This thing to do move URL and request inside Network Manager. I know what I'm talking about. You will see it in the next episode. So, yeah, that's it. Write your comments, ask questions. I want to just understand what do you think about it. Is it complex? Maybe the way how I explain this is also complex. Probably I will return to one of the key points one more times, like again and again, and we can learn together, right? Learn together more. So yeah, just write something, write questions, suggestions, ideas, and so on. So it was nice to write some code with you. I hope it was clear. I hope at least one or two ideas you can get from this video, from my video, from my knowledge, right? So yeah, have a wonderful rest of the day, of the night, you know, like all of this list, right? Day, night, week, months, year, and so on. See you in the next episode. I cannot promise when it would be, but it can be, depends on you, right, guys? Like, you can motivate me to work harder. Thank you so much. See you later. Bye.